Good morning, Miss Hatley. Thank you for all the work that you have done so far. You show up every week, you complete your assignments, and you keep trying. That tells me you care about your community and you want to grow as a leader. Good morning, Miss Hatley. Thank you for all the work that you have done so far. You show up every week, you complete your assignments, and you keep trying. That tells me you care about you. You're someone who cares deeply about people with disabilities. You want to be seen as a leader and you want to help others. Those are important qualities. Now, let's talk about your leadership style. It's strong, it's bold, and it's real. You're a defender of the truth. You tell your story honestly, you don't hide your journey, and your courage helps other people feel seen. You are a heart first connector. You make people feel welcome. You treat strangers like friends, and people open up to you because you're real. You're a vision starter. You are not afraid of big ideas. You see the possibilities first, and you believe the future can be better, and you lead with that belief. You have a community presence. You show up and you attend events. And you're not invisible. People know when you walk into the room. You advocate by example. You don't just talk about disability, you live it. And your lived experience is not a weakness, it's a strength, it's knowledge, and it's proof. Now, let's talk about your strengths. Like many people in your position, you seem to be overwhelmed with trying to do too many things at once without a proper foundation. I want to share what I see. Your strengths, the areas where you can grow, and the direction that fits your skills best. First, let's look at some of the jobs that you're trying to do all at one time. You're the CEO. The CEO is the person responsible for running a business day to day. They're doing the strategic planning. They're leading a board of directors. They may be hiring and managing staff. You also try to be a program director, the person responsible for all of the organization's programs and understands how to connect the programs to show the success through real world outcomes, like the number of people helped and the impact, such as how many people actually changed their outcomes by participating in the programs. You also wear the hat of program manager. That's the person responsible for managing the day to day of a program, such as recruiting people to participate, getting them registered, reporting on the activities, evaluation, and planning of the program, which can include coordinating staff and volunteers. You also try to do fundraising, and the fundraiser is the person responsible for finding the money to support the organization's programs. You're also working on being the outreach coordinator. And the outreach coordinator is the person that is responsible for communicating the mission and the success of the program to others. Those are a lot of jobs. Now let's talk about your leadership style. You show leadership in these ways. You speak up. You're not afraid to talk to people and to share your ideas. You want help. Your mission comes from your own lived experience. You stay engaged. Even when things are confusing or challenging, you do not quit and you reach out to others. You can use the computer, Zoom, email, and social media to connect. These are your strengths and they matter. Now, let's talk about some areas where you can improve. Here are some places where you can improve. Your writing and your speaking sound the same. When you type emails or reports, your sentences look like the way you talk. This makes it hard for people to understand your message clearly. You talk a lot about planning, but not always about the steps. You use words like plan, meeting, event, and program really often. But when someone asks, well, what happens next? What did they do? The small steps are not always clear. You describe your organization, but not always what it does in detail. You can say your mission and list events, but it's harder to explain what your board members actually do or what your role looks like in this work step by step. So, after taking in all of your feedback through the previous lessons, we came up with your main role, which is a disability advocate. A disability advocate represents their own lived experience, and this role uses your natural skills. A disability advocate speaks from their personal experience. They share information from the disabilities community. They connect people to programs and services by sharing that information across the community. They represent their own lived experience. They are lifelong learners, and they often share their own experiences to encourage others.